all the news, but we went through a horrific fire, and during evacuation I got on a plane to the UK, and I've been home for 2 days as Kevin's putting the house back together. Our house was spared, although completely surrounded with fire. And he's not here with me, and that's he's kind of my rock, and so I miss him terribly. But that's what happened to my voice. I'm still recovering from that. When I arrived here on Thursday, I remember stepping into the reception room, and where we have a reception, and I felt literally like I was the great-grandmother coming to the family reunion. And when I stepped in, all of a sudden I realized that I didn't know most of the faces in the room. In fact, it was a little awkward for me, to be quite honest, because I do feel a deep connection to each one of you, and yet I don't know you that well yet. 2006 was a really big year for me. First of all, I married Kevin, who's the love of my life. And after being a single mother in the corporate world for so many years, I really felt that I was blessed with the most amazing man. Right after we got married, we had left our corporate careers in network marketing, both as executives in that space. We started getting phone calls from the corporate team that Carl was putting together for $1 Million Body. And I remember Kevin thinking, it's kind of a cool company. I'm like, what's its name? He's like, Beach Body, but they're going to name it $1 Million Body. And I'm like, seriously? Really? And at that point, honestly, taking care of myself was not one of my strengths. And so we said no 6 times. 6 times. It's kind of shocking to me, considering how much has changed our life. But finally, Kevin said, let's just go meet this guy. And so we did. And September of 2006, just 3 months or so after we got married, we spent 3 days in the Beachbody corporate office. I had done the best research I could on Beachbody at the time. I remember finding something on the internet, and it was a picture of Tracy Morrow in the corner of a room where she was running a boot camp for Tony Horton. And everybody else was taking a break, and she was like still working out. And I thought, who are these people? She soon after that became one of my dearest and closest soulmates in this business. So here we are in the Beachbody world, and I remember Kevin, my newly married husband, was like, let's do this. And I'm thinking, oh, I don't know. I didn't know if I fit in, honestly. And so as I'm walking out the door, just about ready to leave, I remember Carl walking us to the door, and he tapped me on the shoulder and he said, listen, we have got a lot of work to do in a very short amount of time. And I think you and Kevin can really help us. But listen, Milan, what if you could create a business doing something that you really loved, that you were incredibly proud of, and the most important part of your success in that was that you took really good care of yourself. He gave me a hug, I walked out the door, I went on my way to my one country home. And I remember for days after that thinking to myself, no CEO had ever said that to me. As hard as I had worked and scrapped my way up the corporate ladder, I had never had a CEO care whether I was healthy and happy. And that, in that moment, and he probably doesn't even realize this, was when the driving passion and purpose for this business came alive for me. I set out from that point on to prove to myself that I, in fact, could create a business doing something I loved, something I was incredibly proud of. And in that journey, I took care of myself, and I showed my daughters how they could too. And as soon as I started to discover that that was possible, the real passion became that I could show somebody else how to do that too. And so I want to talk just briefly about the last 10 years to kind of bring this full circle, because I really feel like my story is a part of your story. As we move forward in those 10 years, in the beginning, we didn't have challenge packs or challenge groups or Shakeology. We did not have social media at all. Imagine that. I built the team that I have without any of that. And some of the wisdom that I'm going to share with you in building a volume-strong team is how we did that and how I think it really is powerful for you right now. And I also want to say, looking at these last 10 years, we went from, I don't know how many employees, but 250 million to $1 billion in 10 years. Who would have imagined that? And at about the 5-year mark is when Shakeology and challenge packs and challenge groups came to be, and Success Club points and all of that. And for many of you in this room, that is where it ignited your ability to create a powerful team and a lot of success. To tell you the truth, for me, it was a bit of a derailment. Why? Because it isn't how I built my team. I built my team on having conversations, much more belly to belly. I think I had a list of 14 people when I started. And so I did not know how to go to somebody and say, would you like to be in a challenge group? Hey, I've got a free group coming up. Do you want to be in a challenge group? And when that became what was recognized and what was taught, I was stuck. And I had to find my way through that, honestly. And it wasn't easy. Because what was natural for me was to go to somebody and say, how's your health? How have you been feeling? Have you been taking care of yourself lately? Right? And so what I want to do in this short time that I have is really just give you the ideas behind building a volume-strong team and then point you to something that you can get more involved in if it resonates with you for your team. So building a volume-strong team is about moving forward with wisdom from the past. And it's not a new idea and it's not a new way of doing the business that you have now, because many of you are rocking it already. But some of you have had a wonky year. Okay? I know that. I have too. Okay? And some of you have come to me and say, I don't know if I have it in me to rebuild it the way I did before. Show me another way. Or show me a way to take what I know and be better at it next time. So it breaks down into 4 simple things. The first is what I like to call the healthy formula. So when we first interacted with our customers, what we brought to the world, what was unique about Beachbody, was that we were telling the truth about nutrition and fitness and weight loss, much of which people didn't want to hear, but what they appreciated and trusted in us because we told them the truth. And I love that about us. The other thing is that our programs worked without question for everyone who did them. And so the healthy formula was a way for us to say, so, you know, let's kind of, what we do is we make fitness fun, we make nutrition simple, and we create support to help you make change. That's our healthy formula. Beachbody's known for making fitness fun, it's nutrition made simple, it's support to help you make change. And in the beginning, that's what we had. And that's the conversations we had, and that's the proud platform that we stood that set us apart from everybody else. But it also did something else really unique. What it did is, it didn't matter if I was talking to a CrossFit guy. Because what I was really trying to do is make sure that he had his healthy formula intact for his life. Okay, so you do CrossFit, how's that working for you? Right? And so tell me, like, do you go every day, or like, do you do those competitions? And how do you fuel your workouts, by the way? So I'm now bridging what he's doing to fitness that's fun. I'm not trying to get him to change that. And I'm saying, so let's talk about nutrition. Are you fueling your workouts? Are you getting the most out of it, right? So we're caught, and then the last part I'll say is, and who's holding you accountable in that whole process? Ultimately, is your healthy formula working for you? If I met a nutritionalist, I used to be an ER nurse, so I love, that whole space. So if I met a nutritionalist, I know she's going to take Shakeology and want to peel it apart. All right, that's something that you love doing. And I may say to her, Shakeology may or may not fit your philosophy around nutrition. We're about a lot more than what's in this bag. Because we know that nutrition made simple is the key to a healthy formula for everybody else. By the way, what do you do to get your clients to move more? Like, what kind of fitness do you use? And how often do you see them? How do you hold them accountable? So do you understand that when we think about the healthy formula, it allows us to get incredibly good at serving everyone? And when you empower your coaches to do that, they're going to have crazy success. So let's see if I want to, yeah, we'll go on to the next one for time. So the next concept around building a volume strong team is having 500 PV coaches. Now first I want to say that I'm using this in this model, but I am a huge proponent of people over points. So when I say 500 PV, for a coach, I'm really talking about somewhere probably between 6 and 10 customers, ongoingly. Not new customers every month, by the way. Customers that they're helping on their, to establish and incorporate their healthy formula into their everyday life. So if you've got coaches who are doing 500 points, having 6 to 10 customers, they are volume strong. Some can do much more than that, but I'm not talking about the high producers. I'm talking about the girl next door. I'm talking about the Uber driver outside. The person that can and believe they can and can be successful at having 500 points. So what I do is I share this idea of a diamond model with them early. I teach 500 PV ideas. And I might have some time to share some of them with you, but I'm going to actually point you to a place that you can see lots of them. But I want them to understand that using a healthy formula, helping people find their way to complete that, and creating 500 points is going to be, is going to do some things for them. First of all, it's going to pay for their own product, but second of all, more importantly, they're going to feel like they're actually working with someone. You're going to see why this matters in a second. There's integrity in the work that they're doing. It also, when you do this, you expand your team's product confidence. So if I were to go to your team and ask them, tell me what you know about the Ultimate Reset digestive products. Tell me what you know about the performance line, right? And because most of them know challenge packs. And what I really want to do in this 500 PV coach concept is not change challenge packs, because challenge packs deliver exactly the unique solution we're talking about, right? Fitness that's fun, nutrition made simple, and a support system. But what if somebody isn't ready for one? Or what if your coach gets some pushback on a challenge pack for one reason or another? Or what if they run into a CrossFit guy or a nutritionalist? You want them to have success there too. And that's why the healthy formula empowers them to do that. That's why then having product confidence beyond challenge packs equips them with that confidence to go have those conversations. The other thing that we do is, it's not up there, okay, so is that we expand, we create recognition around this. And so we might do recognition at 100, 200, 500, 1,000 and up. It's up to you what's appropriate for your team. But the whole concept of 500 PD coaches is the foundation of what I'm about to show you in creating a volume strong team. And the most important thing is I want you to see that this is something you can do and that you can do with anyone and everyone that joins your team. So let's talk about Emerald Rank. Emerald Rank is the cornerstone position for building depth in your team, and a lot of people don't see that. So when we started, we would say, get to Emerald and build emeralds. Get to Emerald and build emeralds. That was our focus. We knew it was the cornerstone. But what it also did is when we taught that, when we created emeralds who knew how to teach their personally sponsored people to create emeralds, that we created depth with every single person we sponsored. So in this model, I like to call it an emerald tribe. What this emerald is doing is they're taking their 2 personally sponsored people and saying, my role with you, now that you know how to have your 500-point customer base, is to teach you how to teach your people to get to emerald. It's now 4 levels deep. Do you see that? Right? And that little emerald tribe actually produces 7,500 points a month. And they're helping, I have the answer to that, 90 to 150 customers in this little group. And that emerald's going to earn $447 that month in cycle bonuses. Okay? That's not life-changing, but honestly, if you see the simplicity of this, and that emerald can build that little tribe, and get paid a little part-time income of $447 for doing it, that might be a lot better than what your emeralds are experiencing right now. And there's integrity because the conversations in that group are about the customers they're supporting. So this emerald tribe becomes powerful, and I want to show you why at the diamond rank level. So this is a classic diamond right here. This classic diamond probably got to the rank of diamond because they thought that's the cool place to be. And the way they did that is they got people in the challenge groups. The person came on board as a coach, they bought a challenge pack. They probably had a few groups in their first 2, 3, maybe 4 months, had some success with volume there, and then either went AWOL or went to you and said, I'm just not getting traction with this. So I'm gonna hang out with my Shakeology. There's a lot of diamonds out there that look like this that struggle and worry about staying active every month. Would you agree? Yes. All right. So this classic diamond is actually incredibly fragile. Believe it or not, this team generates 1,000 points, and this diamond made $54 that month, which is probably why the classic diamond has a hard time sticking. So what happens when you build a diamond strong? In this model, this diamond just incorporated the 500 PV customer idea. Just with their people, their little emeralds, they've got a little bit going on there. So I call this the customer-based diamond. So this group is actually doing 6,000 in volume, 75 to 130 customers, and this diamond made $485 a month. That's a little bit better. They're all focusing on their customers. And here's what happens when that diamond builds with emerald tribes. This is what I call the diamond strong. This is 8 emerald tribes, and I like to tell our diamonds, you might get to a rank of diamond, but you're not a diamond, a solid, strong diamond, until you build this. 4 on either side of emerald tribes. This diamond strong has 60,000 points a month, 1,000 or more customers being served here, and makes $3,600 a month. You have your diamonds there, they're not going anywhere. They're rock solid. In fact, we actually like to tell them to go to 12 emerald tribes, 6 on either side. That's 90,000 points, 1,500 customers on average served in that diamond group, and $5,400 a month. This is diamond strong. You build diamonds like this, when you get to 1 star, 2 star, 3 star and up, and your diamonds are here, you are rock solid in volume. I promise you that. And it all started with a healthy formula mindset, a 500 PV customer, and strengthening duplication through emerald tribes. So what are the next steps? The next steps are, there's a video that I did because of Anita Myron. I don't know if she's here, but she posted once, my heart went out to her. She said, get on the phone with my people, and the next thing you know, we did this Diamond Strong video that a lot of coaches have seen, and it turned into the Diamond Strong Project. So this Facebook group is open to everyone, and in it are some really awesome coaches sharing their ideas and collaborating with, how do we recognize this? How do we show somebody to do 500 points and have success there? How do we build emerald tribes? How do I even look at this in my organization? So that is available to you, and that in my mind is where we go from here. So this is my last chance to say something to you for I don't know how long. And I really had to have some careful thought about it. The first thing I wanted to say is I want to ask you, what do you believe in right now? I know many of you believe that if you start somebody on a program and they stick with it, that the idea of getting their nutrition right, moving their body, and having support so they're consistent will deliver results. No question in your mind about that. But do you believe that about the business? Because this that I just showed you is exactly the same kind of plan. If you adopt this, you can be 100% certain that you can show an emerald tribe what will happen. You will show a diamond strong what will happen, and you can be 100% confident that it's real. It's real, like I said, for the sweet lady that cleans your room. It's real for the mom next door. And the reason this is so important to me is because it needs to be real for me to be able to go out and continue to do the very work that I love doing. It has to work. So, the last thing I'm talking about is culture. Just got a blinking light, it's the most important thing. I want you to imagine a commitment to people over points and a language in your team that puts people over points, always. I'm hoping, and my fondest hope, that we collaborate and we create a spirit of collaboration and not competition. That we value the journey of a coach and their reaching for something more than whoever's on the top. Because the excellence that is created in that journey is at the heart of what we're about, not who's on the top. That we become, I want to also say, when it comes to collaboration, there is no best team in this room. There's no team better than another. And if there is, we will have missed the very heart of what we're trying to do. One team united to a cause and committed to a culture. That's my fondest hope. Inclusion, that everyone matters. It was our summit theme once. That we win when everyone feels relevant and when everyone feels valued. Not just the ones who seem to be doing the best job. And so with that, I want to ask you, there's people in this room who aren't here with their team. And there's some of you who have your team. Ask the person sitting next to you, are you here by yourself? Come hang out with us. Inclusion. Create the community. Integrity. I want you to protect and honor the coach-to-customer connection. That's a big ask. But I want to tell you that it's a big one. So I'm hoping that you understand that the coach-to-customer connection is one that we respect collectively. Not the, hey, I'm the better coach. Not here, click this and change your person over to me. But the question is, you might have a coach that you haven't reached out to. Let's explore that first. Because what are you telling that customer who may become a coach someday? That there's integrity amongst us. I think it's important. Network marketing. I'm almost done. We have an opportunity to redefine network marketing, but we will not get there, and I'm passionate about this too. We are not going to get there if we disclaim it, or disown it, or say it's bad. We are a network marketing company. That's a fact. But we have a chance to redefine that. And instead of being classic old school network marketers, we can become community builders. We can show that building community, that peer-to-peer, that relationships are at the heart and the power of this business. So, I think I'm almost there. Leadership. The size of your body does not make you a leader. The size of your team does not make you a leader. Your fame on social media doesn't make you a leader. Your success club points also do not make you a leader. Being an elite coach doesn't mean you're a leader. And you know what? Being a founding coach doesn't mean I'm a leader either. So what is one? What I believe is a leader is somebody who consistently looks for excellence in all things. And that you care more about who we are becoming and how the world sees us and what we're building together than what you can go achieve yourself. If you see that as the end game, then you're a leader. So, how about we all go create a company doing something we really love? Something that we're incredibly proud of. Where the most important things that we take really good care of ourselves and the people we love, and we go show the world that they can too. I am just a great-grandmother from Sonoma County, California, who said yes to Carl Legler, thankfully, who has such a heart that I want this to work for you, even when we're on the struggle bus right now, and I know we are, and I'm going to acknowledge that, but I'm going to tell you that where we're going, the emerging company from where we are right now, is, you can't even imagine how good we're going to get at this. I see it happening already. That's what I believe in. That's why 11 years later, I stand here, a 58-year-old great-grandmother, more committed to this than I have ever been in my life. More passionate that it works for you than I ever have been. That's why I'm here. And I have such deep love for you, and I thank you very much.